And we're live again. And as I said on Monday, today we'll be doing frigates. Mainly the Japanese ones, because those are the only frigates I have. Other than, of course, the Squadron SKR. Where is it? This thing. Nope. There we go. Which I might take out later tonight, but not to start off with. Now, when it comes to the Japanese frigates, I do have several lineups. Well, 3 of them. We've got our early 331s, we've got our 371s, and we've got our 4.0 lineup. And we'll start right at the beginning with their 3.3 lineup, and we'll put it in realistic. And I think we'll get ourselves started with the first battle. Actually, now that I think of it, didn't I have the premium one? I do. Do I have it already crewed? Don't think I do I? Nope. Let's replace the bomber with it. And also expert the crew. And now we wait. Queue time shouldn't be as long as Monday though. There we go. 3.3 is a much more played battle rating. Mediterranean port is not awful for frigates, although not my favorite. Because you have this one, like, few opening moments where the enemy ships will have this clear line of sight of you. And we need to swap these things around. Yes, you did. Ah, did you? Good. Pretty full match. Also, fair warning before I'll actually start shooting. The gun sounds for these 3-inch guns are quite loud. Although I'm not entirely sure how loud it will be on stream. Probably not that bad. And I can't really turn them down further. Unless I just change the overall volume. That should be alright. Another thing I want you to note when using these guns, just ignore the overheat counter really. So if you're ever thinking of getting the post-war Japanese frigates with the 3-inch guns, you can pretty much ignore the overheat warning. They will jam eventually, but it's much more worth just keep shooting until they overheat and jam. Locked onto something that seemed to be coastal, but I've lost it again. It also seemed that there was only the one destroyer that I could see, which could make things interesting. There we go. Ideally I'd be firing HE, but AP will work. Mainly because I'm not really any threat from sinking but being shot at by these coastals. Unless of course they're gonna try and torpedo me, which that guy might do, and I'm gonna switch to the VT anyways. There we go. It's a bit too finicky to get his crew compartments done otherwise. But that's a Hugin, isn't it? Well, it was a Hugin. Of course, I now get shot up by the destroyer again, which means I need to fire EP. I use the 40 on the rear to deal with the coastal threat. There we go. And that, what is it again? Yeah, Harukaze is going to be difficult to deal with. Mainly because I don't have any friendly destroyers backing me up, really. Nope. Keep looking at my bridge as well. Firing HE is not going to help either. This one already swapped back to the TF, AP, and Michelle's confused. And I'm going to sink real quick. Yep, there we go. These frigates can do well on their own, but you don't run into too dangerous ships, and Harukaze is definitely a dangerous ship to run into. Let's just go Kizuchi. Is it enemy aircraft or rockets I'm seeing? I think it's rockets I see, or is it mines? What's the range to them? 3 o'clock? Yeah, that's mines, I can see them. Most likely friendly mines. That's... what is that? That's the M17, we're definitely going to deal with that. Enemy up ahead, we might have to deal with really soon. There we go, enemy destroyers. And the Harukaze. Don't really want to mess around with the Harukaze too much. We'll just shoot it. I'm trying to go for the engines, but the engine room in the Harukaze is quite small and well spread out. Oh yeah, they really do. It made naval even more profitable. Overheated my guns, let's let them cool down a bit. Is it the only guy on the cap? I think it is. There goes the front gun. He's rotating his guns, which is bad news for me. course, with AP shells you don't really have to splash damage to deal with those enemy turrets. And there I go, my guns again. It seems like the Lich Shield wants to bat it as well. I really would have liked some more competent destroyer teammates. But oh well. And ammo racked in the rear, okay. Good to know that Yakizuchi is also ammo rackable. And we only have one ship left. I have not, because I do not care for it. And from the videos I've seen of it, it looks incredibly janky. But I do not care to play that event. Yeah, exactly. Couldn't care. Like, there's nothing to gain out of it either. Other than some decorations, I guess. Some like a profile icon, and I just don't care. I don't care to play top tier ground just for that. Well, this isn't actually top tier, the vehicles aren't anywhere near top tier. Still, no thank you. Aircraft are still quite a ways out. I've seen other people enjoy it, but it's not my cup of tea. Not the greatest fan of those events anyways. I don't really like the events where they like add additional stuff to just normal matchmaking basically. I think that guy already released his bomb and that's what I saw on radar. So we can ignore that. And we'll keep a good eye on our radar. (111) HE-51. Now, where's that lich field that sank me? I don't grind my planes in naval, no. I just grind them in an RB. Or at least that's where I've grinded most of my planes I currently own. I do play pretty much every game mode, I'm just... yeah. Not the greatest fan of ground. And aerialistic has become a bit stale ever since nation-based matchmaking isn't really a thing anymore. To me at least. Let's see, let's try getting to the capture point, although it doesn't matter, the leopard's gonna get there. And that should be sunk by Prachny very soon. Long live large engine rooms. There we go. Another Clemson class, and that's it. But it's going to be game over already, I think. And there we go. We'll do another one at this BR. Just because I've been a bit rusty with these frigates. Was a bit too aggressive in the Ikazuchi Nakabono. Now this is more a map for frigates. I think I'm actually going to go to this island, straight ahead, depending on how I spawn. Otherwise you go to the coastal areas and just see from there. I think back when I did my review on these frigates, I think I had a match where I had this map as well and I hid behind this island, which might be a good idea. Yeah, that's an island to hide behind. Although, if anything, I really like brawling in these kind of ships. Much smaller match for the time being. Avier is a 4-0, isn't it? I mean, a T-22 at least is 3-7. It's at least a small up there. No player coastals on our team, at least. I think I'll push up to the island near the capture point. If the game... Ooh, enemy frigate player. I do not have German frigates. The German coastal tree is probably my least developed coastal tree. There's at least one player VS10. We've got one player Blackpool class, and that's a player Frunze. Yeah, I'm gonna hide behind this little island. I didn't really have the time to go over there. Although I will say I really wish I had the Köln class frigate. It looks like a really cool frigate. Another player vessel. And he's already been sunk. Very friendly VS10. Yeah. I missed out on Lubeck, sadly. I missed out on quite a few of the earlier event ships. And I'm not gonna lie, those earlier event ships are the ones I regret missing out on. Lubeck and Tiger. Both would have been nice additions to my collection. Aviera mid-secret is good enough that VS10 capture Charlie, I guess. It's AI, so it's not really a big of a threat. There we go. Aviera got the VS10. Rosa, most likely AI. It is not AI, that's a player. Looks like he ran into torpedoes. Big oof. That's that player VS10 we saw earlier, but my guns are close to overheating. There we go. But I'm not going to let him run to Charlie again. Groza is trying to shoot me with the 37s, which won't do too much damage, but that's no excuses, just sit there. Ooh, I think what was I locked onto there? AI. Okay. And now we fight around this island. There's a player Frenzy, which is going to be a juicy target. Especially if it keeps repairing its engines like that. Need to hit it lower though. Need to attack with the engines. Real lock because my convergence on my guns is a bit off. There we go. And he's been sunk. Those are both bots. And let's move up. There is still that Groza out there somewhere. I think it's like moving around there. Yeah, you can see his tracers firing. Sure thing, chicken. If you want to join me. Although I might be jumping between 3.3 and 4.0 quite a bit. With a possibility of 4.3 if I want to play the SKR. AI, so I don't really care. No targets on radar just yet. There's a player vessel. And behind is another one. I got the mines there, I think. Destroyer up ahead. Let's deal with the S701 first. Way overshooting it, and one of my guns jammed. There we go, torpedoes on the water. We're gonna try and not ram this MZ1. Frunze is the same guy we saw earlier in the Frunze. In the meantime, we can let the guns cool down. So MZ1 deals with more coastals. And the MZ1 is quite fragile, and now we have an enemy aircraft on radar as well. So let's just work over this Frunze. And we need to keep a very good eye on that aircraft. If it gets within 3.5 kilometers, so like in between these two lines, I need to be worried. And this is somebody who just repairs as soon as he has damage, so that definitely helps. There's the enemy Groza I was worried about. We're on fire. The aircraft's getting closer as well. Groza is again out of line of sight. I'm gonna try and deal with this Groza first. As soon as it sinks, we're going to the VT. And that's a Stuka, okay. Let's see if any of those hit. Nope. Now, our friend in the Gross is up ahead. We're not too worried about it. If anything, I think we have more than enough anti-air in the area. So let's get back to AP. Clear of Clemson class, but not too worried about it. Now, Groza, where are you? Probably taking a fight with Brantford. Stuke has been shot down. And game's over. That was much better. But in these almost coastal-ish maps, Frigates works smaller maps. So chicken, where are you going to join me? I'll just yeet you an invite anyways. And let's see. I'm thinking of doing a match with the 3.7s to show you the difference between those really fun 3-inch gun ones and show you the World War II frigates, which are a lot worse. Chidori in particular is quite I have a bone to pick with Chidori. But we are going to do this in realistic. There we go. Ages ago when I reviewed these frigates, Chidori is also just one of my least favorite. Because it has... If you compare Chidori... Yes, we're doing 3.7 chicken if you don't mind. If you're able to do that. But yeah. Like my problem with Chidori is if you compare it to something like the Mitsuki class destroyer, it has the exact same guns, but half as many. It only has 2 torpedoes, it is slower. It has, okay, sure, it has more anti-air, but that's literally it. And it's a higher battle rating than Mitsuki. And I just do not understand why. It's not even tanky or anything either. Actually, let me look at the X-ray for it. Yep, above waterline magazines, especially in the rear. The engine room is kind of small, but it's still like the entire length from funnel to rear gun. It's such a weird ship to be at 3.7. Okay, chicken's ready. Off we go. Now we're probably not going to be sticking around with 3.7 for too long, because I really don't like the Chidori. The Shonan is a bit of a mixed bag. I used to really like Shonan, but it's gotten worse. Arabian Sea, another good map for frigates. And I think I'll be taking out Shonan first. Though no, I really should be taking Chidori first. I can only praise the Japanese 3-inch frigates. I will say Chikugo and Ikazuchi aren't exactly the best, but they're pretty good, pretty solid, especially when fighting reserve destroyers. But stuff like Isuzu and especially the Ayanami are really potent frigates. You got a pretty good spawn, nice and out of the way. Let's see. Pretty build up match. Gunners are at all targets, perfect. I am also well aware that I'm carrying several hundred kilos of TNT on the rear of my ship, but we'll see what happens. Do I have any backups? I do have backups for Chidori. I think, does the rear gun rotate? Yeah, the rear gun rotates in the frontal arc as well. I'm planning to fight mainly the coastal, so let's just load the HE for our next salvo. If anything, we can already empty the barrels of the front gun, maybe the rear gun. Just get ready. Few torpedoes, and they're not really any good. Oh, actually, those torpedoes are better than I remember them being. 5.5 kilometer range, 83 kph is not bad. Perfect, but not bad. Almost 400 kgs of filler. Yeah, looking a good thing. Yeah. Mines are a really cool and nifty thing to have on a ship, but they're just more a liability than anything. And the only time I've ever deployed the mines successfully was when I just charged my ship into the enemy. Is the only time I successfully used mines, and that was on a Kuma, of all things. Of course, that was back before the zombie problem, where you could actually charge at enemies without being shot at by 8 different Moffats. But oh well. I'm gonna leave some space for that Clemson. So just be noticing I'm cutting that corner for him. Is that 15 got what, ammo racked by a Yubari? I'm more surprised we actually have a Yubari. Also, please Clemson. Now you're cutting me off. I want to go to Bravo. And yeah, that's a lot of destroyers. That Z-15 is probably a target, well, a priority target. But it's also a really dangerous ship to mess with. But we're going to mess with it anyways, because we're close to cover. And our Litchfield buddy just slammed on the brakes. Okay. And I whiffed both of my salvos. And that Jibari just slapped another Z-15. Is it a player bomb? I'm assuming it is. Not the worst, seeing as your bar is kind of bad, especially in up there. I'll just be having a good match now. Hello there, Bill. Destroyer up ahead, interesting to know. We'll keep in cover. Can we identify it? Mutsuki, okay. And Leopard. I keep actually forgetting the Yubari is 4.3 now, instead of the 4.7 it used to be. I thought I shot a lot lower than that. Front gun is obscured. In my honest idea is that I actually add more modern destroyer-ish things to top their coastal. That's what I would think, or submarines, because I do think submarines would fit a bit better. Well, no. I think they fit better at coastal BRs, but in a coastal 3, not sure. Yeah, if there were to be a rank 6 coastal, I think just more modern frigates slash destroyers even at some point. Seeing as we already have coastal vessels going up to 4.3 and 4.7, we could easily add a modern destroyer in the coastal tree at like 5.0. Are they that close already? Oh, I see torpedoes. Oh, those are outgoing torpedoes though, aren't they? Or did I even see that? Or did it just halt right there? Did he spawn? Ooh. Yep, that's gonna be an oof. No problem. I don't have any targets anyways. There are. The Zippo is a Vietnam era riverboat. And the thing is, riverboats aren't quick. They're not really that fun to play nowadays. Especially if you're going to have to fight destroyers. But yeah, there are Vietnam era riverboats. Although I'm not too familiar with them. I do know there are some boats in the Vietnam War that did have miniguns, I think. I'm not entirely sure on that, don't quote me on that. Okay, bishop back in front. Yeah. That's going to tear me apart, so let's try and turn fully around. Bridge being out doesn't really matter at the moment, as I want to turn full left and east. Oh, he's really low actually. That's a fight I'm going to take. Into the turret, and he is down for the count. That's right, PTF-7 is also a Vietnam era boat. I mean, you'd be surprised how many Cold War PT boats we actually have. I've got a few of them, really. Like, I believe stuff like PT-810 is also post-war. PT-810, PT-812, stuff like that. I know for a fact PT-15, the Japanese thing, is post-war. Yep. Chidori, again, is just a worse Mitsuki at a higher battle rating. I will say she is quite nimble, especially with my crew, quite a nimble vessel. Just gonna mark him. Ooh, he's over there. She is at the 3. She is 3.7. Chidori is 3.7 with half the guns and only 2 torpedoes. 3.7. Which is... Then again, you have to also think that like all the reserve destroyers at some point were actually 3.7 as well. And that all the frigates at some point had a coastal spawn instead of a blue water spawn. But it's still kind of unforgivable. Okay, let's try a torpedo run. This is a bit of an odd angle to torpedoes at, but it keeps me out of his torpedoes. He's gonna turn to try and avoid torpedoes, I think, but my torpedoes are way too fast. There goes one, there goes two. Where did shells come from? Let's repair, because I've lost a lot of my anti-air firepower from the small engagement. Yeah, I underestimated the potency of these torpedoes. Quite good. I think this was my... Oh no, I did have another kill. Yeah, not low. Ooh, that's not good. It's just now L2, which my goodness, for some reason not prioritizing. Rotate this around. And yeah, blew its wings off just as the match ended. That was a better match in the Chidori than I expected it to be. But then again, a good map for frigates. Those smaller maps with only like one destroyer spawn and two BT spawns are really good maps for frigates. So I had good luck at getting them. Now I am going to do another match at this actually. No, yes, we'll do this BR again. For Shonan and Isuzu. Although mainly the Isuzu, as I could also play Shonan at 3-3 where it belongs. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. The thing is, I might have a bad image of Chidori back when I rated it, because I remember getting constant up tiers to 4.7 with the Chidori on open ocean maps, and that is just awful. I think back then as well, I was fighting stuff like Trento, or some Italian heavy cruiser, or some Italian cruiser at 4.7. I do remember fighting quite a lot of cruisers when I was raiding Chidori, and that is just not a good experience. It's just, yeah, maps where it isn't too suited. Yeah. Those were really bad times. I don't think you can actually get... Can I... I can't check. But on the map filter, now it says the BRs now, doesn't it? The BR range at which you can get those maps. I think open ocean nowadays is like 4.7 and above? 5.0? Not too sure. Not the worst map for a frigate, but it is a bit on the big side. But at least you can get to cover without being shot at. Not the best map for Shonan, so I'm not going to take out Shonan, I'm going to take out Isuzu. I will do one more AP build. No, Chidori has the same guns as Mutsuki. Shonan has... I don't exactly know the difference, but they're longer guns, they're anti-air guns. They're, yeah, they only have HE and HETF, whereas the Chidori also has SAP, which does help in it a lot, but Shonan doesn't have SAP on its main guns, which you'll notice. You'll definitely notice. Small match, good to see. And by the looks of it, a down tier, if I'm to believe the SF-40s being the biggest ships they have. So this might actually have been a really good place to put the Shonan, but the Shonan is really slow, isn't it? 36. It would take me ages. You let me actually hover over the gun so you see the name. It's 120mm 45 caliber length 10th year type. Also Chidori is 45 caliber 3rd year type. Not that I exactly know what it is, but it's not the same gun. SF-40 is, yes, the German anti-air square. The flak barge. If it's a full downtier of mostly... The thing is, I'm playing 3-7. I shouldn't expect there to be no destroyers. But there won't be any no, by the time I get to Bravo, enemy destroyers will be there as well, so I'm not going to switch over to the VT. Not now, at least. Is there any speed differential? Not really. In all honesty, I actually like the heavy more than the light. Just because of its longer range. But VS8 has slowed down quite a bit.
Enemy forces have
we switch back to the AP. Enemy mines, so the VS8 has already dropped some mines, there you can see them. Whilst we're in a bit of downtime, I'm getting myself a little bit of a workspace organized to actually finally start really working on videos. So I hope to bring some out in the near future. Because the biggest obstacle I have towards making my videos is just the writing process. And then the editing process afterwards. The recording itself is that easy. But writing and editing takes some time. So with that workspace, if I can just cut down the writing problem, that'll be fine. And editing is just, depending on the video I make, editing is just repetitive more than anything else. Like especially on the reviews, you wouldn't believe how repetitive it gets. But I'll be able to work on something in the near future. I'm going to miss out on all the fun, am I? At this rate. Enemy destroyer? Right up my alley. And they're right within my range as well. He's already been softened up quite a bit by the looks of it. And we just move down the engine room, especially on flinzes. Basically their entire ship length is engine room. They're hitting with rock, that's fine. We're up ahead as well. Just wait for the overheat to be done and we'll finish off this guy. Try to. He's dead. 4%. Now, what do we have up ahead? Another frenzy. Perfect. Please turn closer to me, Frunze. He's in a full turn. Take out the bridge. Take out the bridge. He's not in a full turn. He might be in a full turn. Is he in any turn whatsoever? Doesn't really matter as I can already start pumping lead into his broadside. Guns are jamming again. Good. Accelerate. And there we go. I assume that was, yeah, that was the guy in the Hunter earlier. We'll deal with him first. And we're gonna go move to Alpha. I'm not gonna bully the D3. Not in my boat. Mines up ahead by the looks of it. Don't know where, but there's somewhere up ahead. Yeah, you can bully a D7 all you can. So you can definitely in an MH2 you can bully it. I'm just not gonna do that to my frigate. Seems a bit too cruel. That smoke screen is a bit too late to save you there, I think. If I had to pick one, it's definitely cheatery just because torpedoes and sap. Sure, there's not a lot of torpedoes, and sure, it's still only 2 guns, but it's just better than no torpedoes and no sap. Although I will say, did somebody call these 2 OP? Actually, which one is? Is that the one I killed? Yeah, I killed him. It's definitely me he's talking about. And I'm not gonna lie, I've gotten that a lot of times when playing with Japanese frigates. Especially in full down tiers like this. Enemy destroyer, Frunze. It's true, like, ooh, mines. Luckily those German mines float on the top, they're pretty visible. But yeah, no, these... But that's the case for pretty much any frigate. If they're facing nothing but coastals, they are downright broken. Aha! It's our friend trying to kill me in a bomber. But I have something called HEVT. Now, if that's going to save me or not is a different question. Ooh, I think something shot a bomb, or something collided with a bomb. But he's not alone. It's not alone, it's a duck. Ooh, he got my front gun. That's good. And there we go.
Attention to the map.
Yeah. Yeah. You can have fun with frigates if you can manage to grind out their hundreds of thousands of RP. Or you can be fully up-tiered and get smacked around by like, if I fight 4-7 destroyers in this thing, I am not going to win those engagements most of the time. I don't even want to imagine fighting Frank Knoxes in this thing. Okay, that's an AI shooting me. Let's... yeah, no, let's swap back to the AP, because that's another Frunze. And we can use the AP against coastal vessels, it's just not really optimal. He's launched torpedoes, but I'm not too afraid of him. Although I am within his torpedo range, and they are pretty quick. That is... oh, there's a player. I thought it was an AI as well. He launched his torpedoes, but I'm fine. I don't think he shot him too well. He has, actually. No, I can dodge it pretty easily. Not enough lead. We are starting to dodge him. The HVT will do much more damage against light-skinned targets, Bill. I think I might have pushed a bit late. So I forgot about the mines. Stupid me. But it's game over anyways. Although, Yeah, I kept hearing the alarm, but I thought it was for torpedoes. Nope, mines. Not that it matters much. Oh yeah, they reduced repair costs over with the economy changes, haven't they? A lot more profitable than I thought it would be. Then again, it was just seal clubbing coastals. So that's Isuzu. We are going to move down to 3.3, and I'm going to equip the Shonan and play that. You say that, but you shouldn't be too worried about costs. It is a good point to make, though. The belts for these guns cost 1,500 apiece. It's not cheap, and especially it's like it's per belt per gun. So if I go to my Ayanami, for example, where is the modifications? There it is. It's even more expensive. I think that cannot be per gun though. It has to be in total. Because I don't think it's that pricey. I'd have to check again when I play the... I played. PJ2 has always been 3-3, yes. It is still a menace. It's not as much as a menace as it used to be on release, the PGO2, but it's still quite the menace. I might play it as well if I die in the Shonan. But yeah, we'll go off to battle. One noteworthy thing about the Shonan, I'll show it in battle, is that the Shonan, the 25mm on the Shonan are very potent weaponry for it. But the magazines for those 25s are really easy to take out, and when they blow up, you have no 25s anymore. And it's really difficult to reload as well. Not the best map for Shonan, but we'll do it anyways. And I'm actually inclined to use the HE belts for the 25s. Let's hope we do not get shelled by that coastal fort. Oh, did it have a double mount in the rear? That would be a bit better. It's a double 120mm round. Mount, sorry. Or did it have a double 5-inch in the rear at some point? Because I actually kind of want to look it up, and I was going to show you the magazine first, wasn't I? Yeah. All these boxes in the front is literally all the ammunition for all the 25s, and that blows up so quickly. I think it's even like if you just bow tank, it's if somebody shoots you at the waterline of sap, done. Oh no, you can get this map at any battle rating, I think. I'm going to have to look up what class of ship is it? Does it say the Shonan? Hebrew class. So I want to look it up because I didn't know there was one of a dual mount at the rear. Oh yeah, no, it says it should have 3 120mm guns. Well, I can get on it. I'll actually make this thing somewhat playable. Cool, those are very small pictures on the wiki. Well then. Also, it wouldn't improve this much though, going from 2 guns to 3 with only HE. Still be neat. And now I just try and sail into the coastal battle area. This is usually the boring part of playing a frigate though. You get a larger map and then you have to just sail for quite some time to get to the battle area. Or at least the battle area where you want to be. Because in general, you do not really want to fight destroyers or frigates. You just, most of the time, don't have the firepower to go blow to blow with them. The only exceptions in the Japanese fleet being the Isuzu and the Ayanami. They can fight most destroyers head on, especially in the down tier. Actually, is that it's Clemson. I think I'm gonna go in between here, like it's south of Bravo. Oop, that's squad.
We're ahead of the enemy.
I wonder, is that the Clemson? No. Because if he's in a coastal, yeah, then it for sure can knock out 2/3 of your crew. If those guns hit. A Gabbiano, okay. Gabbiano's kind of squishy. I think I'm gonna just have to shell that coastal battery. I thought I recognized that name. Trying to recall from where I know him. We'll just keep shelling that base until it dies. I should be sailing closer at the same time because I can actually very good gun arc on that ray gun. Better than expected.
Just keep it up, and victory.
I think it takes 4 or 5 hits to take out the base. I'm entirely sure on that though.
Enemy forces have captured their zone.
Somebody else already did one of those bases. I actually I can't call it out to attack. And the friendly just got sunk by one of the bases. I am certain that guns of this caliber can destroy one. To hit it enough. There's our hits against the coastal vessel. I think it's about time we actually deal with these coastals. Not the correct lead indicator there. That was too high. There we go. You need to keep an eye out for enemies. Oh, 191 I should be able to deal with this HE, that's not actually the armored Russian boat. Not that particularly armored at least. Yeah, but now that I've been told that apparently the Shonan could get a double gun in the rear, I'm very sad. Could have had another gun, some more firepower to deal with. Now I'm being shot at by the base a lot. And it's still not anywhere near artillery range, is it? Nope. It's not that base that shot me, is it? No, I don't. It doesn't have line of sight on me. Flooding as well. Looting rack, because why not? And there goes the naval base. They're having an interesting fight. I want to help them out. You cannot destroy the pillboxes, not individually, but you can destroy the entire base. With gunfire, with torpedoes, with artillery strikes, with bombs, with anything really. As long as it's enough TNT, it will destroy a base. And it doesn't have to be that much TNT either. How do you duel a destroyer for that long? And well, it's reserve players, isn't it? Can't really blame them too much. Good job. Enemy aircraft incoming. Let's see it. Of course, I think F-25 are firing HE, which is fine for most PT boats, but not that Russian one, because it actually has a bit of armor. There we go. I put my gunners on anti-air duties. Because whilst historically speaking these 25mm guns from the Japanese weren't good anti-aircraft guns, in game they're pretty good. They're pretty good. As long as they hit their target, it is.
火事中央了解火事中央ターゲット特定小型艦包囲80ターゲット特定小型艦包囲3000メートル
Okay, we shall splice them. Let's see what else we can do. It was over. Oh, let's just go for the one closer. And the aircraft's been shot down, so let's do gunners on all targets. Just enjoy the show. Fire, and for some reason my fire extinguishers are no longer automatic. Even though that's something I always do. Yeah, I really could have used some AP belts on this 25's brought around now. Let's try it. Okay, that's friendly. The hit markers didn't really help with that though. Destroyed.
Attack the enemy!
重理班損傷への対応開始折りかじ了解折りかじターゲット特定陸艦包囲120 5000メートル戦闘機左舷2000メートル艦停止
Just lightly tickling him with the HE. On those 25s. Well, there's, I think, an AP shell is still in that belt.
Most of the zones are under enemy
I think we need to push up to Alpha now. Ooh, an Aquilon, okay. Don't really want to deal with the enemy destroyers though. We'll just keep on moving. It's firing HE, which will not do much against a frigate. Unless you want to, of course, knock out all my anti-aircraft guns and stuff like that. Not going to do much to my internals. We'll get this guy first. There we go. More air up, then we're going to put the 25s on AA duty exclusively. Repair them as well, because I've lost my front triples, which are an important part of my anti-air. Go. Aircraft shot down as well. Keep shooting it, for the love of God, keep shooting it. Almost luckily missed. Stephanator has dropped torpedoes. I saw him drop them. We're gonna switch over to the 25s to see what they'll do against something a bit lighter. But it seems that I really should have kept an AP belt on me. Yep, 25 of HE are not doing anything. 120 just phased through him because that was a ghost shell. There we go. And game over. I'm making these frigates seem much better than they really are. Oh, Max may join me again. Sure thing. But what were we going to do now? I think we're gonna work our way up to 4.0. A JDS Ayanami. Am I carrying my torpedoes on Ayanami? I am. Why? They're not exactly good, so I'm just going to remove them because I have had them blow up in the past quite a bit. There are actually more than... Yeah, no. It's quite fun how with Japan you can just make entire post-war lineups for naval. Smack dab at the early destroyer BRs. Yeah, Chicken is trying to just grind his coastals. I can understand that. But 4.0 does put us in range of the Moffat Horde, so do be prepared. Then again, we were in range of the Frank Knox Horde as well. Of Isuzu. Don't worry. Well, you could bring your destroyers along if you really want to, Chicken. You don't have to just play coastal. I think they're both ready. Let me just take a look. Yep, off we go. Yeah. I really should be grinding my coastals for the other attack trees, but that's just... Ugh. It's also... I want to grind my coastals, but at the same time, they're vaguely promising a ship progression rework, like somewhere at the end of summer and early autumn. And it's like, do I just want to wait until that happens to grind my coastals, or do I want to try and grind them now? Anyways, Japanese port, perfect. Home territory advantage. We are going to get into cover as fast as possible. And there we go. I said it and it happened. We're in Moffat territory now. Although we are actually those are also premiums, but I highly doubt that those would be bots, right? Surely not, right? This one isn't. It's literally just a player who has recently got an Eskimo. Eskimo is also a premium. It's Eskimo is not a premium. What am I thinking? Genieri is though, I think. So let's look at that. Looks normal. Looks very normal. Paria, Tigre. 3 Moffats. There is a coastal spawn, and thank you for the subscription there, Austin David. I've a little bit helped.
Attack the enemy.
Oh yeah, there are plenty of them. And this is going to sound odd, And I don't want it to sound old. There's genuinely a lot of Chinese clans as well. And it's really something you don't want to say, but it's genuinely an uptick that happened when they closed down the China-only servers. And it sounds really almost racist to say so, but it just is the case. I mean, yeah, it is true, but at the same time it also does also vaguely sound racist to the people that don't know. But it is true. But yeah. Guns are overheating, but we don't care because there are still guns firing. There we go. We'll let those guns cool down. Also, an interesting tidbit about the Iron Army I'm currently playing. It's not a frigate. This is an actual destroyer, mainly by the fact you can also see it's called a DD. And it's in the coastal tree. It's also mainly because of ships like Iron Army that can easily see post-war or other like Cold War frigates and destroyers being in the coastal tree if we were to see a rank 6. My guns have the... Oh, that's a Farragut. I'm just bullying a Farragut. I was thinking I was going to bully a Moffat here. Nope. Rockets being fired from, I assume, an SKR. So let's get out of dodge quick. And successfully bullied an Alwyn. Poor thing. What captured Bravo? That thing captured Bravo. Also, gunfire from the front is scary because torpedoes, which he just launched one, just launched two, but I can dodge him quite easily, I think. Is an SKR up, that's the carrier. See the torpedo trails, I should be well out of course. He might have kept me out of the cap. He hasn't. Front is down. Moffat, can we detonate one with these guns? I'm gonna say yes. We'll just take a few salvos, there we go. That was a very bad place to spawn in LS3. Never mind. I was about to say my rear gun should have a line of sight on that Thunderbolt. Doesn't matter apparently.
Another zone captured, we have the advantage.
I'm seeing a lot of rockets being fired. And one thing I enjoy doing in the Iron Army is hunting down SKRs. Because SKRs, for some reason, think they're next to invincible, whilst they're really easy to detonate with automatic guns, especially automatic guns that fire AP. Bullying of reserve destroyers continues, as it should. Because in my opinion, those ships shouldn't be reserves anyways. this is the reason why. Because you're in reserve and all of a sudden you face a ship you do not know how to deal with the slightest.
取り舵
了解取り舵駆逐艦220 9000メートルターゲット命中
ターゲット特定小型艦
240 2000メートル
艦電気
艦撃ターゲットに命中小型
The
艦
one annoying part about playing a frigate, however, is that for some reason the game recognizes you as a coastal vessel.
ターゲット
So guns like AI 40 mils and stuff will always shoot you.
2000メートル
ターゲット
Is this our Ooh, that's not an SKR.
方位180
How do we kill this thing? First of all, disable the rockets. And look for an ammo rack now. That's a 76mm gun with only HE. I wish it good luck. Goodbye, and let's see if you can ammo rack you. I'm not gonna hunt that ammo rack eternally. There come the rockets. And those rockets do hurt, if they hit at least. And he's dead. And what did I lose? Literally not a single percentage of crew. Just a bit of flooding. And the SKR has gone around, has he? Yubari. That's gonna be a problem if it keeps shooting me. Although not two reserve destroyers. That was to be expected from the frigate I just sank. Oh, my guns are apparently reloading. Already fired that many shells, have I? Luckily it only takes 10 seconds for them to reload. I shoot a whole damn lot faster than the unit. SKR seems to have already been sunk as well, whilst I wasn't paying attention. And we are just trying to get out of range of that Yubari.
方位220 7000メートル
ターゲット特定駆逐艦
方位240 4000メートル
Yep, he seems going to be trying it again with a destroyer this time, but the match is going to be over before I can sink him. And I think I literally played every single Japanese frigate now on stream. I really love this thing. Hands down, my favorite. Actually, I would say it's my favorite destroyer. I would go that far. Lovely. Now what are we going to do? Are we going to continue 4-0? Or do we dare go beyond? Or do we go back to 3-3? Let's see. I don't really want to brave the 4-3 storm. I think I'm gonna have more fun at 3-3. So let's do 3.3, and I think, can I replace my Kazuchi with a strike aircraft of some variety? Let me check. Yes, I can. So we'll do just that. And we'll keep the Shonan along for fun. So we'll have PGO2 Akabono for the main ships. And then Shonan or PT-15 depending on what has to be done. for a last match of tonight, I'm thinking of pulling SKR out anyways. I think I'm just going to double check my SKR. I'm not going to play it. But it's pretty much stock, isn't it? Oh no, I do have parts and FP, of course. I do have the rockets as well. Okay, we're all ready. Off to 3.3. Yeah. This time around, I think I'm gonna first spawn a PGO2 though, just for a bit of fun. Yeah, 183 is pretty solid. Not quite my favorites, although I do like the Battle Pass 183. The one of the Grad rockets on the back. That thing was good fun. Is good fun. Yeah, I've seen a lot of people praise the PR-183. But I don't know, I haven't personally been quite as much of a fan as of those variety of PT boats. Like just basically the large hull, lots of guns on top, pretty fast and torpedoes. I think the Americans and the British basically soured my experience of those kind of torpedo boats. I much prefer stuff like sub-chasers, which Japan has spoiled me with. I genuinely still believe that Japan is one of the better coastal grinds, if you can just get beyond some of the crappier low-tier ones. Although it is a bit of a shame that they now moved these two up. They used to be 2.3 as well, and then had a really solid lineup. I can see why. M82 was also a scourge of coastal for quite a long time. I mean, yes, but so are the Japanese frigate chicken, apparently. I kind of feel bad for that guy, because yes, he was playing like German coastals in a full up tier against a frigate, and then you just screwed. The thing is though, for some weird reason, you don't see people complain about reserve destroyers nearly as much, even though they should be almost as, well, they should be as good as most frigates, if not better. And my game crashed. What's going on with my game recently? I'll just put on the Be Right Back screen. And I'm going to have to figure out what on earth. Because one day I think I crashed, what, 3 times? It was nuts. That's a dev server I'm opening up. That's not the one I want to open up. That's again the dev server I'm opening up, because I am not that bright apparently. I should be able to join back. The question is going to be if it's going to be a good idea to join back. Because when this happened Monday on stream, I rejoined and immediately crashed again. So I'm going to try and see what happens. Also, please do not mind the very poorly looped footage for the Be Right Back screen. So now that I think of it, I really should put the chat box up here, shouldn't I? What is that again? I'll look it up later. In the meantime, game is loaded. Let's just see if I can return the battle first before switching screens. Without it crashing. Seems fine, so let's go back. Give it a few seconds for the OBS to actually figure out what my game capture is. There we go. And get a move on, I guess, now that I've missed a few minutes. PGO2 doesn't have search radar anymore. Getting that's the case.
面かじ
了解面かじ実艦100 8000名
総員配置につけ敵艦接近
Mid is engaging something. I need to slow down to stabilize my gun. Oh, that's quite a... I keep forgetting to keep messing around with the Vulcan noise, but that doesn't sound good, does it? Although I don't actually know what the real... Well, I vaguely know what a Vulcan's supposed to sound like. But that just doesn't sound good. Sounds like one... It sounds like somebody letting one rip. Just letting some gas go. Oh, 204 is just be the last thing I want to face. That thing's rapid fire cannon is really dangerous. That is noticeable. Well, fight fire with fire, I guess. Enemy destroyer is 1. I'm gonna continue. Valiant thing.
敵艦接近
了解取り舵
ターゲット特定駆逐艦
包囲100 7000 名
Ooh, they have a few destroyers hiding behind the fortification too.
包囲80
And what is that?
ターゲット特定駆逐
A
艦
Litucci, maybe?
80 1万名
Not sure.
駆逐艦80
6 kilometers, a bit too long range for my liking for these guns.
小型艦
60
The Shakal up ahead.
ターゲット特定
It's really interesting that, how many weeks is it now since the update was released?
6000 名
And how many French players do you see around? Practically 0.
ターゲット特
Yeah,
定
the 204 is going to be a quite thorn in our side. Right there,
ターゲ
apparently.
ット特定
And he's been sunk by the Shakal.
60 7000 名
ターゲット特定駆逐艦
包囲120 6000 名
As Marketing is getting within range, it's time to open up. He's slowing down, which I was not quite anticipating. I'm also shooting way too low, apparently. ill, so my rangefinder is just being wrong. Just too far out. It just takes too long for my shells to get there for me to correct. So we just ignore that for now. What about the coastal vessel? VS8? VS10. Actually, did I double check what it is? It's not quite within range for that, never mind. It forces 11-inch guns are opening up on our guys, which is not good. We can let that VS10 run. We'll just have to fight over Alpha. An Asheville within range, and I think I can lob my shells over there as well, can't I? Yep. And he's been rotted apparently. Aircraft up. I think. Or is it just... No, there's an aircraft up. Can't quite see it though. There he is. The 204 is back again by the looks of it. So let's see if we can intercept it a little sooner or later. First, HE. My tracking radar only has a range of 5 kilometers, so I can't quite get a lock on him yet. B-38 is nothing too worried about. Doesn't mean we shouldn't shoot him though. And there goes 204. And he flew away rather than towards us. Okay. And he's been shot down by an AI. Another aircraft up, a P2. As well as a Litucci within range. Aircraft's coming closer. Yep, we need to switch to VT. He's gonna gun for us. Now it should know we have radar. I'm gonna try and fly over this little mountain if I'm not careful. I need to push up. Yeah, it's gonna fly over this little mountain right here. As soon as it gets out of firing range of both of us. That's also mainly the reason why I put these markers above him, so I can keep track of him. Much easier. And he's flown off. Like somebody else. And he's been shot down by the looks of it as well. Back to the AP. Ooh, an AFD. We don't see many of those around.
ターゲット特定小型艦
And it was already pretty much one shot, okay.
小型艦 ターゲット特定
Still want to be very careful of the possibility of P2, but I think it got shot down. We're doing just fine. Having some good matches with the Japanese frigates.
小型艦ターゲット
Did kind of ruin somebody's night with being in a full downturn of the Isuzu.
折り舵
But other than that, we're doing just
ターゲッ
fine.
ト特定小型艦ターゲット特定駆逐艦
That's the bomb of the air too I'm seeing on the radar.
ターゲット
Don't
特定
really want to
小
fight that.
型艦
Why did not see him? And of course my air gunner can't see him either because
駆逐艦
put it on ground targets.
特定
There we go. He decapped it, but he didn't cap it. Maximus, you need to be careful because he launched torpedoes. And off we go to Alpha.
艦の制御が失われている直撃進行方向に当たせ小型艦
That naval base is actually still operational. I think we need to be deeper in that.
敵艦破壊小型艦包囲60 3000メートル操作しました
Although I kind of doubt that this ship will have enough explosive mass for this job. Also, I'm gonna activate my tow hook so I can throw our buddy out
タ
here.
ーゲット特定小型艦 ターゲット特定
Nope, I didn't want to lock onto that coast point. I want to lock onto the base. Chicken, attach your tow hook. I'll tow you out.
了解取り舵
Oh, hello. Oh, we need to get a move on quick. I see the torpedoes in the water already. And my bridge was taken out. We need to move quick. Oh, I hope you don't get dragged into the torpedoes. I'm sorry if you are. We're fine. We're good. Gucci. Jesus. He's still ahead of me. More torpedoes, other guy. And my bridge got taken out again. We'll continue the turn, however. And my bridge got taken out again by the fortress. Oh, that's gonna hit me, that's gonna hit me, that's gonna hit me. Yeah, hit me. Luckily it didn't detonate me. Very lucky that didn't detonate me. Okay. Okay, we're fine. We're fine. Definitely didn't get a heart attack twice. Enemy aircraft up. Pinecall 111. And more torpedoes incoming. And that's... I'm not, definitely not going to be fine from that one. I'm fine from that one, apparently. Fire can go, we're fine. The flooding isn't quick. Okay. We only have one gun to deal with the aircraft. The V990 is somehow still around here somewhere. Still being shot by the fortress. I think I saw that 111 carried torpedoes. I'm also going to break the tow hook. There we go. He is carrying torpedoes. And I'm carrying VT. I'm not going forward, my guy. I'm still going forward somehow. Okay. Torpedoes both drowned, however. I see no trails and I saw him explode on hitting the surface. Jesus. That fortification is really starting to slam into me. So let's try and get out of dodge. Again, the V990 is still out there somewhere, or as far as I know. But he shouldn't have any torpedoes left. So I'm not really that worried about it. He is very likely to be on B, yes. It's at this time I really wish I had torpedoes or an arty, just to knock out that coastal battery. I mean, I just need to stop, let the guns cool down and just get myself sorted again. Everybody seems to be alright. Zikazuchi, although he's, I assume, fighting for the thing on Bravo. There we go. That was a very exciting few minutes there. Lots of torpedo threats. And ooh, no, that's what you should target. Well, the MZ1 seems keen on shooting me as well. I'm very low on crew, so he does have his fair chance of taking me out. But the MZ1 isn't all that tanky, especially with these kind of guns. So we should be fine with this, really. If I can actually get my aim down well enough. There we go. Oh. Yeah, as a Tucumcari, this is not the fight you want to be in right now. I'm going to put my gunner on all targets. I don't know why I haven't yet. That's something I really should have done. H51, I do not care about the 51 coming in. And it's game over. That was a very exciting match. And it should be a fair pack of SL as well. So, second chicken. And it's going to be me and Maximus. For, I want to say, 2 more games. One more at this BR, and then we will... I'm no longer squad leader because I crashed, I guess. So we're doing one more at this BR, and then one SKR battle to finish it off. There we go, lovely. And we're ready to go. And that was lightning quick. Especially compared to Monday. Golden Bay, though. Definitely not one of my favorites, and especially in a frigate. So we are going to first spawn PGO2. And try and play it a little bit conservatively. Albatross is 3-7. Oh. Could this possibly be a down tier of no destroyers? It would be shocking at 3.3. 3-7 because
敵
Albatross.
艦接近ターゲット
Oh,
特定
what's that? K3, okay, I can actually sink that. There's just a very big target box and had me panicked.
了解
Actually, ooh, can I not?
ターゲット
Can't call him
特
out
定
anymore, so let's just RT this area.
340 2000m
ターゲット特定小型艦
包囲340 2000m
Can we see the shells coming in from somewhere?
小型艦
I was looking at the RT shells coming in. Let's actually look that I don't overshoot this corner, which I'm definitely am doing.
いっぱい
And there goes one RT kill.
ターゲット破壊敵に命中
鳥かじアジ中央
了解火事中央
Sounds no Bravo behind me. Be careful of that.
ターゲット特定小型艦
包囲80 500m
Enemies at 1 and a K3. I should be able to rip them apart pretty quickly.
Well done.
We want to stay over hull underwater to just keep our gun stable.
小型艦300 1000m
And that is one MZ1 ripped apart.
小型艦
包囲
I was almost overheating my anti-mill, but we're fine.
破壊
面かじいっぱ
We're
い
not fine. We can
大火事いっぱい
ターゲット特定小型艦
splash that guy a bit.
280
Fine, now we're out of range of that.
ターゲット特定
Oh boy.
小型艦
183 is our first target because those are very scary.
突撃
That guy was already very low. Careful of overheat.
500m
Kill. I no longer have an engine, which can be a problem.
小型艦
That guy is also dead now.
ターゲット特定
He took out my gun, but come on, we can repair it, we can repair it.
ターゲット
Oof.
特定ターゲット特定
Back up.
小型
Got.
艦
And we got a direct impact from an artillery strike. Which, not too shocking, but oh well. Akebono could do very well, or I could just play the Shonan for fun again.
いっぱい
了解取り舵いっぱ
So
い
let's play the Shonan for fun. Is that a K2? It is. That's literally the worst thing I could possibly fight. We do have an Abdeel with us.
ターゲット特定
That could do some damage.
艦
包囲340 6000m
So we're in 4-0 matchmaking with the Abdeel.
了解火事中央小型
This is some very janky 4.0 matchmaking if that's the case.
動員配置につけ敵艦接近面かじターゲット特定駆逐艦
What is the Abdeel shooting at?
6000m
I might not want to rely on that Abdeel.
ターゲット特定小型艦
340 4000
ターゲット
We can
特
hull
定
break PT boats if we hit them,
小型艦
包囲
with the emphasis on if. Like that.
ターゲット破壊
ターゲット特定
There's a guy from last match as well, I think.
6000m
Too high.
小型艦前方
There we go.
6000m
Another zone captured. We have the advantage.
敵艦撃沈敵に命中
ターゲット特定駆逐艦
340 5000m
I. There's already. Oh, there we go. Now the Abdeel is gonna get close to the K. You two.
3000m
Aircraft up and AI, not too worried about.
包囲
There goes this BF-110.
9000m
Could be dangerous.
ターゲット特定砲撃機
360 9000m
So let's put our
ターゲット
gunners on our
特定
targets.
小型艦
If anything, we could actually put our main guns on our
鳥
targets.
かじ
Because AI gunners do still work on coastal vessels, luckily.
方位20 7000 メートル
And let's see if the 120 mils can hit that aircraft. I doubt it at this range, but it might as well be worth a try.
ターゲット特定
I only need 25s against coastals anyways.
4000 メートル
ターゲット特定攻撃機
And he's dead.
5000メート
ターゲット特定攻撃機
ル方位40 5000メートル
ターゲット特定小型艦
Shoot at his AI running away.
34
And the K2 got torpedoed. Perfect. But so did their friend. Less perfect. And put gunners on all targets again, because I do want to use the 25s against surface targets.
爆撃機左舷4000メート
I
ル
should actually adjust my course as well in case I'm getting torpedoed.
面火事いっぱい
了解面火事いっぱい
No harm in being a bit cautious.
火事中央近弾
ターゲット特定小型艦
360 3000メートル
The enemy is winning. We've got to counterattack.
小型艦前方4000メートル
ターゲット特定爆撃
And with a bit of luck, I might be able to actually fight some coastal vessels.
鳥火事
了解取り返し
Let me JU-88, let's call it out.
Attack the enemy.
Way lower, I think. And way more lead. Oh, they're not looking too bad. A bit lower. More lead. And he's being shot to absolute... Ooh. Oh, those were actually not bad. But my anti-air support was apparently not needed. That's the wreck of a ship, okay. Please, I want to try and shred some PT boats with these AP belts on the 25s. If only the Shonan was a bit faster.
ターゲット
Luckily,
特定
I'm in the coastal area before that Z-15 spawned in.
5000メートル小型艦前方3000メートル
ターゲット特定小型艦
40
Only 111 coming in. Does it have torpedoes equipped? Does not look like it. He's gonna get shredded by the
鳥火
gunners
事
of those PT
ター
boats.
ゲット特定
Yeah.
小型艦
方位40 3000メートル
That's directly within range of the 25s. There we go.
破壊ターゲットに命中了解
Oh, there's more. There
ター
is.
ゲット特定小型艦
40 3000メートル攻撃機前方2000メートル至近弾ターゲットに命中
ターゲット特定
More enemy aircraft incoming. It's a float 111. Float 51, sorry. Float 111 would be an interesting sight.
2000メートル
ターゲット特定攻撃機
I keep wanting to switch to tertiary weapon group for the 25s, but they're not the tertiaries. They are the secondaries.
面火事
了解面火事
ターゲット特定小型艦
40 2000メートル直撃
ターゲット特定小型艦
方位20 2000メートル
AI, but still.
ターゲット特定小型艦 消火班は被害隊を
Offer her a win.
戦場区画を
This is my airspace.
敵に命中。敵艦が傾いて失速している。敵艦破壊。
ターゲット特定攻撃機
包囲20 1000メートル。敵艦撃沈。
修理班は被害隊を区画から排水せよターゲット特定
DB7 could be dangerous.
包囲340。
So let's have the AI shoot that. I can manually control my 25s, as I said
小
before.
型艦
More than enough against coastals.
2000メートル。
We're winning.
ターゲット特定爆撃機
340。小型艦前方。
And look at that, the AI gunners are getting within range because the DB7 isn't flying in a straight line.
小型艦
Okay, that was kind of off range, but
ターゲット
come on.
特定小型
And then if I
艦
maxed out crew for nothing.
機関停止
敵に命中。
ターゲット特定爆撃機
340。小型艦左舷。
Ooh, there goes a
1000メー
crit.
トル。
There's another hit.
面かじ
了解。面かじ。
And down it goes.
敵艦撃沈。
取りかじいっぱい
了解。取り舵いっぱい。
ターゲット
I
特
found it a
定
bit shocking if I actually did enough damage to down that aircraft like that.
2000メートル。
I am not going to complain about it.
了解。舵中央。
Yep, this is gone combat again because he disappeared.
小型
So
艦
there's a Type T-38 coming in,
40。
which shouldn't be that big of a deal for a PGO-2 to deal with.
前方1000メートル。
ターゲット特定小型艦
And if anything, I should be able to see it before it actually gets to the cap. But game's over.
Strategic zones.
敵を破壊基地へ向かうぞ
Again, having very lucky matchmaking. Because that map is not really that favorable towards frigates, but having next to no enemy destroyers does help. So now we're going to do one more match at 4.3 and end it for tonight. I do have backups on the SKR and I'll have that thing. That'll do. Do I have any interesting aircraft to bring along? Not really. But I'll just bring a few along. Sure thing. I'll wait for him to rejoin us. And I think I physically cannot expert my crew, can I? No, I need level 35. And I have nowhere near enough crew points to actually get my way up there. By the way, if you're ever fighting an SKR and you don't know how to deal with them, well, they can be very tricky to deal with, but try and take out their gun turrets because they're big, boxy, unarmored targets. And if you've taken away their main firepower, the ammo is right here, right below the turret, at the base of their little ammo elevator thing. And hitting that ammo rack will one-shot an SKR. Both the front and rear one, at least the last time I did it. Especially the rear one will one-shot them. I think the front one, if that one detonates, does have a chance of just not sinking an SKR. But I'm pretty sure the detonation of the rear one will sink one. But of course with the SKR-7 you do have to worry about the rockets as well. Yep, he's ready. Completely missed him getting back. And we'll get going on our final match of the night. Queue times are a bit longer than last match. And hopefully we don't get dragged up into too much of a Moffat hellscape. But it is very much a possibility at 4-3. Or even worse, fighting in Atlanta on SKR. But we'll just have to wait. I have to wait and see what the map will be. There we go. And what will our map be? Franz Josefland. Again, not the best map for frigates. Although I think I can make my way over to Bravo pretty quick. SKR is not the fastest, but it's not that slow either.
По местам стоять. Самый полный. Право на борт.
Frank Knox, 4-7, Moffat 5-0. And I'm already going to tell you that that four-man group in the same squadron that isn't squatted up are all bots, are all zombies. I will guarantee it. Actually, shall we just look at their player card? Oh, won't you look at that? 4,000 matches in Frank Knox. And are they all like that? They're all the same level. Actually, that one isn't, but still Frank Knox. Hell, all the way down. And actually, let's look at the Gamer Squadron. That is one legitimate name. 2. And then a few more here as well, legitimate names, and then just the rest is gobbledygook. And if you want to know why they're like that, you see the activity. They were literally made, oh my god, they were made 12 days ago. So they were all made, oh my god. I'm willing to bet that all these accounts are also made on the 1st. And the reason they do this, right, and I did get completely distracted, but I don't care because I want to explain what this is and what they're doing. This squadron is made purely to grind squadron vehicles for the people in it. That's the only reason it exists. Is to get the squadron vehicles in it. Of brand new one, by the looks of it. I should tell. A few people joined 2 days ago. It's disgusting. And the thing that disappoints me, right? Actually, can I report that squadron in its entirety? I don't really care about it as much anymore because it's just no. Can complain. Is it just the 3 whoever selects? No, that's the. This is a squadron. Bill with what's butters? Maybe the better word for grinding squadron. Vehicles. Send. And there we go. It is genuinely the botting problem is the main reason I am trying to shy away from playing the higher BRs as much as possible. Because it is just depressing at these stages. It's just depressing of how little they've done to it. of course, we're also at 5-0, so the likelihood of actually have some interesting fighting over Bravo is very slim. Although, we could try and take out one of these bases with our rockets. Do they have that range? Let's see if those rockets will actually hit that base. I doubt it with my lead, but we could try.
Цель. Эсминец.
Yep, there we go. Managed to take it out.
Дистанция 8000.
One of the first rockets in itself as well, by the looks of it.
The enemy is winning.
Цель. Эсминец.
Беринг 260. Дистанция 8000.
I can't get this squadron out of my head because I'm willing to bet there's a few real names in here. Like that's definitely a real name. That's their commander. That's the one who probably commissioned this. Maybe that's. I'm willing to bet out of the 109 people in there, 100 of them are bots. I'm willing to bet it. Well, I'll go down to the iNavy Discord, I think, and mention it as well.
Has captured most of the
That one.
strategic zone.
But yeah, the 4 real players are definitely the one with the lower activity.
Цель.
But some of those usernames seem like real ones. I'll actually... You know what? After this match is done, I'll just look at that squadron for a bit.
Есть попадание.
We no longer have an advantage.
Цель выведена из строя. Есть попадание. Наблюдаю пожары. Противник сбавляет ход. Наблюдаю крен и дифференц.
Лево руля. Цель. Эсминец.
Внимание! Критические повреждения в машинном. Корабль потерял ход. Атака машинном!
Let's see a naval base shooting from the front. That's no bueno.
Повреждения рулевых устройств. Не можем управляться. Внимание! Имеем серьезные повреждения.
Приступить к борьбе за живучесть.
Беринг 240. Дистанция 4000.
If we don't do something fast, the enemy will win.
Radar's back. There we go.
Повреждения рулевых устройств. Не можем управляться.
And that's a daring single firing.
280. Дистанция 6000.
I didn't even know that daring actually had the rate of fire to keep up a consistent stream of fire like that.
Руль прямо. Есть поражение.
By the way, my personal opinion is single firing is a decent tactic, but it's not really one you should try and stick to too much.
Право на борту.
It's a good way once you've already got the range on the target in to keep them suppressed,
Трёмный группа
especially if you're trying to hit certain
отсеки.
gun turrets. Just doing that constantly, there's not really much point in it. But there are definitely some uses to it. That's something I really should make a video on as well.
Опасно
The
малая
single
глубина
firing
прямо
tactic.
по курсу.
There's so many videos I should make, and I really need to get on them. I'm gonna make my turn, so I need to reverse.
Прямо руль.
At least we'll have the luck that the match will be over quickly. Although our Primo guy is putting up a fierce fight. A very nice help there, Maximus. And I can tell I don't have the speed upgrades on the ship yet,
Pressure on the enemy.
or decent engine crews. Takes a while to get up to speed.
Лево руля.
Руль лево.
Now there's one more naval base I can rock darty. This one all the way down there. There goes the first of the shorty Frank Noxes. We have 4 real players. If I'm also counting the Cadiz as not a real player, which I am, because I've seen both Cadizes. And compare that to the matches we were getting at 3.3 with like... Because we're actually still pretty full, most of our matches at 3.3.
260. Дистанция 5000.
I'm locked into the base, I think. Yeah. Give it a good old salvo. Our radar's been disabled again, but looks of it. There we go.
Берег 220. Дистанция 5000. Цель утратила боеспособность.
Allied forces have captured a
That's
zone.
an Frank Knox firing his 40s at me.
Берег 260. Дистанция 5000.
Just massively rammed an island by the looks of it. Let's try and saturate that area with rockets. There we go. And we'll see if we hit any. Oh!
Цель. Эсминец.
Well, hello there.
180.
That's
Дистанция
one sunk Phelps, I guess.
Лево руля.
Руль лево.
Some of my rockets are hitting.
Pressure on the enemy. They're winning.
I think my squad mate is going to get into Alpha sooner or later. And this is a victory,
Лево на
somehow.
борт.
Руль лево на борту. Руль прямо.
Цель. Эсминец.
It really gets quite depressing just seeing how
Дистанция
different the matches are compared to, you know, being not fighting zombies constantly and
Руль
being
право на борту.
fighting zombies constantly. It
Стоп
really doesn't.
машины.
The people who say that naval would die if they remove the bot, if they ban all those bots, are people that haven't played naval before the bots were a thing. Genuinely, like, really, the player numbers right after the split, before the zombie problem really kicked off, were good. They were definitely on the lower sides. Matchmaking definitely did take like a minute and a half on average.
Дистанция 7000.
Sometimes even longer, especially if playing in squads.
Прямо по курсу.
But you still got matches. You didn't have to wait half an hour to get into a match. But no,
Эсминец.
Pepperidge Farm remembers. It really does.
240. Дистанция 6000.
Цель. Эсминец.
Берег 240.
Look, the
Дистанция
thing is,
5000.
Gaiden has been trying to do stuff against it. There have been. But not nearly enough, not nearly fast enough, and not nearly harsh enough. Like, what did they do a while ago? They made it so that you had to shoot somebody with your main gun to get a reward, right? Then they made it so that AI gunners can no longer use their main guns. But before they did that, because you had to hit somebody with your main guns manually to get a reward, that's when the bots started employing aimbots. So they were hitting people, quote-unquote, manually with their guns. So that didn't count anymore, and then I think, was it this update that they removed or last update? Where they removed the ability for AI gunners to control the main guns. Which doesn't help, because the bots are no longer using AI gunners.
300.
Also, this is going to be juicy if I can hit it.
Стоп машины.
Switching to the other shells. My man, I'm so old, I remember the Emden meta. Back when they only had 5-0 cruisers.
Приближается.
Стоп машины.
Oh yeah, the height of the Brooklyn spam, the height of the
Руль право на борту.
Eugen spam, stuff like that.
Цель.
The thing is, those things were really annoying as well to deal with.
300.
At least you're dealing with humans, and at least it's some other targets to fight. Yeah.
Лево на борт.
Руль лево на борту.
I really do hope they get a
Прямо руль.
handle on the bottom problem at some point there.
На радаре истребитель.
Several enemy aircraft incoming.
Дистанция 8000. Приближается.
They're staying away from me for some reason.
Цель. Истребитель.
Беринг 280. Дистанция 7000. Руль лево.
I'm going to go back to the capture point to just keep my guns loaded. Also, Austin, now that you're active again, you just subscribed to stream, right? Because you didn't have to do it because of the chat, right? Because for some reason, whenever I want to schedule in a stream or plan one in, it auto-selects the subscribers only chat option, which I always try to disable, but I'm never sure if it actually disables it or not. You did have to subscribe to chat. Oh, that's very annoying. I should have disabled that function.
Цель.
Okay, I'll need to double check that more often then. Oops.
Дистанция 6000.
No problem. And thank you anyways.
Цель. Истребитель.
Беринг
Although you won't really see much out of me for the
5000.
near future and streams.
Our victory is near.
Цель. Бомбардировщик. Машины.
Weather change. There we go.
Цель. Истребитель.
Беринг 300. Дистанция 7000.
Okay, so apparently for the SKR it still loads one shell at a
Задача
time.
выполнена.
That's annoying. But okay. That was going to be my last match for tonight. And we are just going to have a look through the one cheating squadron again. Rangefinder. Let's get for some speed upgrades, I guess. Let's go after this. Now. Squadron search. It was shooty. Okay. Okay, we go by activity. So these are definitely real players. 100%. The usernames match up, it's fine. All of these certainly aren't. All these random strings of text aren't. Is this an actual player? Yes. Is it a naval bot? No. I have tried War Thunder Mobile, but I'm gonna be honest, I don't have it on an emulator, and I'm not gonna go grind through all of that. Which is kind of just a shitty mobile game in general. Yep. And that they should Maximus. Okay, that's a real player, so they have 5. And I think that's genuinely it, isn't it? Yeah. And of course the commander, so that is 6 actual human beings in that squadron. Just going over the names again, because I'm not going to go through all of these player cards just to see this over and over again. So many. There's, if not dozens, if not hundreds, definitely dozens. Because I know there's a lot of them out there. Not a no wrong, yeah, sure thing. Oh well. We can hope that one day they'll crack down on them very hard. I was going to read that full message, wasn't I? Yeah. Although I am sort of willing to give the benefit of the doubt to the people that joined like 2 days ago in that squadron. Where are they? Yep. Like if you go by join date, like these two, I'm almost even that one as well. Although, are they bots themselves? No. Like I'm willing to give the later joins some benefit of the doubt, but at the same time, they might have joined knowing that it was a farming squadron. But yeah. Messed up stuff. But I'm going to end it here for tonight. Thank you everybody for showing up and watching again. And Friday, I'll be doing some naval EC, which might be quite long, but we'll do it anyways. Anyways, thank you for watching, and I'll see you all on Friday.